Thank you all so much for giving me a chance to speak with you. I'm the founder and the CEO of Z-Converter. Today, I'm going to talk about how to simplify and accelerate the VMware migration to OpenStack. Let me introduce the Z-Converter first. We are the proud member of the VMware Migration to OpenStack working group. And the 20-year young companies are specializing in cloud migrations, cloud backup, and the disaster recovery. We have three entities, the San Jose, and the Singapore, and the South Korea. Let's talk about how your migrations will work like once you decide to move. You may expect your migration working like this. But the reality might be like this, right? Why is cloud migrations complex and difficult? So let's look at why. All migration problems are generated from the heterogeneity between the VMware and OpenStack. Let's figure out the migration scenarios. Assuming Samsung, we are backed by Samsung. Actually, assuming that Samsung uses 4 different cloud platforms with 3 different components, as shown on this slide. The platforms, hypervisors, and disk formats are all different. How many migration scenarios are there? Can anyone answer? Yeah, hint. 9 by 9. 81, right? Now let's add 3 more different platforms. How many scenarios are there? Anyone answer this? Yep. Over 2,000 cases, right? How can you help organizations to simplify and accelerate their VMware migration to OpenStack? How can you resolve the complexity problems? Many times I said all problems stem from heterogeneity between the OpenStack and the VMware. Can you turn the VMware to OpenStack to eliminate the heterogeneity issues? A 50% chance of answering correctly, yes or no. 50%, yes or no. No, that's impossible. Is there any way? Any other solutions? Yes. We can eliminate these heterogeneity problems. We just need to make a heterogeneous migration process work as if they were processed between the homogeneous environment. How can we do this? We have the cloud-agnostic, the backup, DR, and the migration technologies, eliminating heterogeneity problems. GR is the cloud-agnostic backup format, which is a heterogeneity eliminator. As the first step of migrations, like a VMware's VMDK is backed up in GR format. None of the VMware, such as AWS, Azure, or bare metal machines, are also backed up in a GR format. all migration processes become a GR to OpenStack. We tested a GR to OpenStack recovery or migration thousands of times. We guarantee a migration success rate is 99.9%. Let me summarize the GR to OpenStack migration process again. AWS workload migration process to OpenStack becomes GR to OpenStack. Azure, GR to OpenStack. Google to OpenStack, GR to OpenStack. Bare Metal machines, GR to OpenStack. Any workload migration process becomes GR to OpenStack. We tested GR to OpenStack thousands of times. Instead of testing like AWS OpenStack, Azure the OpenStack, blah, 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 OpenStack, we tested only the single environment, GR to OpenStack. All migration process becomes uniform and consistent. Let me talk about like OpenStack Z project. The 4 months ago, that we launched OpenStack Z task force team to empower the move in and move out capability in OpenStack across the multi-hypervisors or multi-cloud platforms. These are the 7 key features of OpenStack Z project. Flexible move in, move out capability across the multi-hypervisors or cloud platforms. And also, the second one is the migration drill feature. Large organizations, without the migration drill, they cannot move to save the money. And also, by using the migration drill, organizations can estimate the migration time. Number 4 is an automate migration process. By leveraging OpenTofu or Terraform automation script. And also, OpenStack Z project will empower virtual machine and data protection capability during the migrations. Yeah, OpenStack Z project will manage all these requirements. By using the single migration tool, you can manage all these requirements in OpenStack. Yeah, this is the primary feature of the OpenStack Z project. Organizations can move in and move out of virtual machines, not container. A virtual machine can be moved in, move out across different hypervisors or different cloud platforms. By leveraging this is our Azure, the backup technologies. By leveraging GR technologies, organizations can move any cloud, any hypervisors. The Azure will be inside the OpenStack Z project. Now let me demonstrate the move in, move out capability of OpenStack Z project. The migrated virtual machine will be able to move in and move out across the different hypervisors or cloud platforms. Another mission is to protect the virtual machine and the data during the migration process. The first step of migration is to backup VMware's VMDK in a GR backup format. The non-VMware is also the backed up in a GR backup format. The second step is to recover a GR backup to OpenStack. That's it. We tested thousands of times. So let me talk about migration drill and the migration time estimations. By leveraging the disaster recovery technology, one of our products is a disaster recovery product. By utilizing disaster recovery technologies, organizations can conduct DR drills, which are essentially migration drill, and estimate the RTO, which is migration time. Let me explain why a DR drill becomes a migration drill and why RTO becomes a migration time. Assuming the VMware on the left is a production environment. The OpenStack on the right is a disaster recovery environment. For disaster recovery services, the first step is to backup in a GR backup format. The second step is to recover to OpenStack virtual machine. Once this recovery process is completed, the services on the left side and the right side are identical. This is a DR drill, and also this is migration drill. And if your DR drill time is like 4 hours, for recovering 100 virtual machines, your migration time for 100 virtual machines to OpenStack is 4 hours. You can automate all these migration processes by leveraging the OpenTofu or Terraform automation script like this. Do the migration drill first. Then you can make all these process automatically. Now let me summarize the OpenStack Z project and capability. The first capability is to protect the virtual machine during the migration. A second capability is migration drill. Third capability is estimate the migration time. The fourth capability is automate migration process by utilizing OpenTofu or Terraform automation script. Number 5, I'll show you the next slide. Flexible move in, move out capabilities of virtual machine. Number 6 and 7, this slide shows you a single migration tool. Single migration tool will manage all these requirements, including the affordable or the complementary migration licenses. This is the number 5 features. The features of OpenStack. A virtual machine can be move in, move out across any hypervisors, any cloud platforms like this. As you may know well, there's some issue is like somebody that telling about migration cost could be over $5,000 per virtual machine. If organizations plan to migrate the virtual machine to container, they may need to pay over $5,000. But why the enterprises or organizations consider migrating the virtual machine to container Actually, they don't want to be locked in anymore. Yeah, but if when OpenStack Z project is completed, the enterprises can move their virtual machine from the VMware to OpenStack's virtual machine by using lift and shift migration technology. The average migration cost could be like 1/10 compared containerization migrations. We already tested most of the features, our internal lab. In the first half of this year, we will announce this technology officially. All OpenStack Z features will be running together OpenStack platform. If like enterprises like want to manage the multi-hypervisor or multi-cloud platforms, with OpenStack platforms, without the OpenStack platform, they cannot manage it. OpenStack GL will be inside OpenStack platform. Let me this is another features some enterprises face the challenges migrating the storage, such as like RDM and the VVols or LVM storage. Many people, many guys think the storage migrations could be the hurdle to convert the VMware virtual machine to OpenStack's virtual machine. But G-Converter support like RDM or VVols or LVM migration to OpenStack, just like a block storage migration process. Storage migration is not anymore issues. And also, many people ask the Z-Converter if they can migrate 32-bit BIOS mode virtual machine to 64-bit EFI virtual machine running in the OpenStack. Yeah, we can support. This is like a BIOS in UEFI. You can migrate the VMware's virtual machine, legacy virtual machine to OpenStack, and you can do that. Storage migrations such as RDM and VVol and LVM, you can do that. Yeah, any questions? Okay, thank you so much. That's a great question. There are two ways. One is create a job backup from it first. Or a second one is just replicate a data in the RDM using the G-Converter. You can use some the rsync. That is not the difficult way. The migration process is just like a block storage migration process. That's not a big deal. We supported many customers related to these kind of challenges. That's not anymore issue to convert VMware virtual machine to OpenStack. Yeah. Thank you so much.